Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Seditious Saturday edition. It is 8 a.m. and it is 53 degrees outside. It's wall-to-wall sunshine. It's beautiful outside. It's supposed to be beautiful all weekend, so I hope everybody has a good one. I am headed to work, because that's all I ever do, is head to work. And then I work some more, and then I work some more, and then I work some more, and then I'm going to die. But hey, that's fun. You know what they say? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Anyway, here we go. So, I have something I want to talk about, and it's kind of two things, but it's more or less just one thing, because it all stems out of the same thing. And that is human trafficking. I got to tell you, folks, I have... I've been conscious of human trafficking for a number of years. I'm saying probably since 2008 or 9 was when I started hearing rumblings about the fact that there are still slaves in this world. And that, I mean, it was like, okay, yeah, maybe, you know, over in some place other than here, there's slaves. And the more I did research into it, it was just kind of like, you know, it was so little information back in the early 2000s, even in 2010. But then I met a guy from a company called Destiny Rescue. And if you don't know that company, they are absolutely OG. They are freaking awesome. You should support them. They're freaking great. But the gentleman who started that organization, his name's Tony, and I forget his last name. But anyway, he's from Australia. And on a company trip or something like that, he saw all these girls that were being trafficked. And they were like in the sex slave industry. And it absolutely broke his heart. So he started the organization Destiny Rescue. And he has several teams of people that work throughout the world to free slaves. In particular, sex slaves, both boys and girls. Predominantly, his main focus is children, but he wants to shut down every brothel in the whole world, which, hey, I'm 100% on board with that. That is a good thing. But yeah, so he had representatives in this country. He has representatives in this country and in Australia, and they raise funds, obviously, because it takes money to make this stuff happen. So they're raising funds so that these teams of guys and ladies can provide, well, number one, free these folks, shut down these brothels, work with law enforcement that's local there to that area, and arrest the people that are in charge of it all. And so it's an awesome thing. I mean, it's a very awesome thing. You should check them out. Destiny Rescue. Man, they're great. But as I met one of their guys in 2012. Yeah, I think it was 2012. I was I was a youth pastor at the time. I was at a youth conference, and they had a representative there. And I met their representative, and literally we talked for probably about 2 hours. I was absolutely dumbfounded by the information that was shared with me about this problem. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me, it's happening. And the more research I did, because at that point then, I was pretty wound up about it, and I wanted to make a difference. So I started doing some research into it, and it became more and more clear that this industry wasn't just in other countries. It's here. It's in our country, and it's a big problem in our country. We have an 80+ billion, with a B, billion-dollar industry of trafficking kids. That should piss you off, if nothing else. And I got to tell you, this movie that just came out, Sound of Freedom, I have not seen it, but I have watched the interviews with the lead actor. I think Jim Caviezel's his name. I'm not super into actors and their names and stuff. Even when I was watching a lot of movies, I couldn't remember their names. Anyway, I watched his interview, and I watched the interview with Tim Ballard, and I was sickening. I was sickened by the information that they gave. Absolutely sickened. It's unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. And the fact that the border right now is wide open down south, wide open. Kids are being trafficked through that area by the millions and millions, I'm sure. It's unbelievable. And the fact that, well, I don't know how down the rabbit hole I want to go with this, because I've already hit the 5-minute and 40-second mark, and I'm not going to go much further with that. But I'm going to tell you this, because I want to try and keep this short. That industry, the human trafficking industry, has been putting out misinformation about the fact that the movie Sound of Freedom is a QAnon film. They're trying to shut it up. They're trying to put the jack back in the box, as it were, right? It's out, folks. I'm sorry. Those of you that, no, I'm not sorry. I want your sorry back end in frickin' prison. Or better yet, the electric chair. That'd be great. Because, my gosh, you don't have any right to say, if you're involved in that, you don't have any right to say that it's misinformation, and that film was misinformation. It was put out by QAnon. It's unbelievable. It infuriates me. This topic infuriates me. It makes me get really charged up. I'm here to tell you. But here's the real issue, honestly. The fact that some of us will sit here and say, oh yeah, human trafficking's terrible. It should never happen. I can't believe it's even a thing. And you get all pissed off about these people that steal kids and then put them into the sex slave trade. But then later on tonight, you're going to turn on your phone, or you're going to turn on your iPad or whatever, and you're going to watch porn. Are you serious? Because that industry rides the coattails of the human trafficking industry. And if you don't believe me on that, you should do a little bit of research. And that's my second topic, is porn. And here I am, I'm a dad. I'm a dad of 4 sons. And believe me, I understand the draw to sexual immorality. I get it. Man, God made women beautiful. Okay? That's just how he made them. But they're not all yours. No, they're not. And you don't get free reign to them. They aren't an object that are just there for your visual pleasure. That's bullcrap. And if you think that, you're a misogynist ass. I'm just going to put that out there. It's disgusting. You knock that crap off. Because if you indulge in that, are feeding the human trafficking industry just as much as if you were taking children, running them across the border and selling them. I'm dead serious. I am absolutely dead serious. I've had this conversation with my sons. I've had this conversation with a number of young men throughout the years, because pornography is a big problem. And it has been forever. Because the heart of man is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Right? So you have to discipline yourself. Paul talks about that. He says that we as men, he talks as humanity, we all have our own sins of the flesh that we have to die to ourselves. We have to discipline ourselves and not indulge in that crap, because it's not healthy. It doesn't hurt just you. It doesn't just affect just you. It affects everyone around you. It absolutely does, because it objectifies women. And if you don't think that's true, if you're a young man, you don't think that's true, go and talk to your mother and ask her if she knows, if she can tell by your attitude and the way that you talk to her that you've been messing with porn. I guarantee she'll know. I guarantee she'll say, yes, I know when you're struggling with porn. Guaranteed. Because you treat people badly when you are doing that kind of thing. You treat women like objects. And they're not. They're human beings. So lest you all think I'm some type of feminist wackadoo, I'm not. I do think women should have rights. I do think that women have the ability to do pretty much every single thing that a man does. But I gotta tell you, they weren't built for some of it. Do I think they can do it? Sure. Do I think they were built for it? No, I don't. I think God made us differently on purpose. He gave us roles on purpose. There's only two genders, kids. Male and female, and that's it. It's the XX chromosome and the XY chromosome, and that's all there is. There's not another one. That's all. Anyway, that's a whole different rant. But I'm approaching the 11-minute mark here. I'm gonna try and wrap this up because I'm pretty charged up now. You got me on my soapbox, or I got myself on the soapbox. Anyway, hey, listen, I want you guys to have a great weekend. I would say go see Sound of Freedom, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think you should support the theaters that are showing it. If it's still in the theaters, I'm not even sure that it is anymore. When it comes out, in whatever format, whether you want to still kick it old school and buy a CD, you can do that, or not a CD, a DVD. You can do that, buy a DVD, or buy it on iTunes or whatever. But support that company. Support them. And find, there's several different anti-human trafficking, counter-human trafficking organizations throughout, not just, like Destiny Rescue, it does other things in the world, but there's companies that work and try to do this kind of thing here in this country as well. Veterans for Child Rescue, Craig Sawyer, that guy is a G. He's awesome. So go to their website. It's V4CR. Check them out. Operation Underground Railroad is another one. Tim Tebow Foundation, they work in counter-human trafficking. Gosh, I can't think of any more right now. Those are the big four, I would say, in my mind. I can't think of any others right now. What is it? If you get onto LinkedIn, I know it's a cheeseball social media source, but if you get onto LinkedIn, there is a company there called We Are Monsters, and it's actually, let's see, what is it? It's Black Rifle Not Coffee, and then there's like a subgroup called We Are Monsters, and dude, there's another one too on there called Skull Games. Those guys all chase after pedophiles and try to get as many kids rescued from human trafficking as possible. Okay, I have way gone over my time. I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Seditious Saturday. And remember, smash the like button and put in the comments what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Maybe some comments on subjects you want to hear, topics you want me to talk about. We got more things coming, I promise. More interviews and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, we're going to send this out now. You guys have yourselves a great weekend. Don't forget to go to church tomorrow, worship, and stay prepared.